Who likes the new NBA Coaches Challenge?
Nobody likes it. There's a little bit of toleration being put up. There's a little bit of hatred that's coming out with it. You know, I think one thing that's difficult for the coaches to understand is when you review something, what can you review? What if you're looking at a shooting foul and you see an offensive foul just before the shooting foul? Just the other day, we saw with D'Antoni, he was told he couldn't review something because of a 30-second rule that he has to challenge it, but he wasn't sure what he needed to challenge until the 30 seconds were up. The complexity of what they can challenge and when they can challenge it is an issue. The strategy of whether to challenge or not is an issue because it costs you a timeout whether you win it or lose it, and some coaches think that timeouts are so valuable late in games. And then coaches have also complained about how it slows the game down. But when you talk to the league about it, they'll say what LeBron said is not true. He said that referees don't change their rulings. They're actually changing them about 45% of the time. Will, we heard for the last couple of years the coaches complain about those last 2-minute reports about how, well, it does no good to admit you made a mistake if you can't change it. The league says, hey, this is where you can change it. This is us getting stuff right. 45% of the time they're changing it. And then most importantly, the people who say that it's slowing down, the league says, listen, it's not taking any longer than any other replay review. And if we've heard any feedback from coaches, it's I should get a second challenge if I win the first challenge. So how can they complain about it slowing down? So I think what we have right now is a lot of frustration on a complex system, but I think we have a system based on my discussions with the league that is not going away.
Yeah, you know, in your article with Tim Bontemps, which is excellent, by the way, you lay out the successful challenges have come on non-judgment calls, right? Goaltending, out-of-bounds plays. It's the personal fouls, shooting fouls, offensive fouls that are harder for coaches to get their arms around. And, Brian, I got to be honest, it makes me think of pass interference in the NFL. But you bring up the stat. 45% of NBA coaches' challenges are won. That's way higher than what's going on in the NFL. So it leads me to this. Why are they so upset?
This is what's so strange about it. We talked to Kenny Atkinson of the Nets. Kenny Atkinson has the best record in coaches' challenges. In fact, he won his first 5, and he said if he had to choose right now, he'd get rid of it. This is a guy that it's helping. So it's difficult. I really do think part of this comes down to strategy because coaches are having meetings with their analytic folks that are being told that if you take 2 points off the board or add 2 points to the score, whether it's in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, it makes a big difference and you have to win. They've got star players who say it helps me if you react by challenging something where I think I'm being wronged. And then you have the reality that if you win a coach's challenge, and this is something that I think people seem to forget, it only means in some cases you get a jump ball. You don't necessarily are guaranteed possession, which makes it difficult to weigh how important it is to challenge when you're not assured of getting the possession if you win. So some of this is just the league admitting that or realizing that they're going to have to make tweaks to this. And that's something that we're all seeing play out in front of us.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.